The Central Intelligence Agency marks its 70th anniversary. We look at the CIA's record of intervention across the globe and its impact today. Hello, I'm John Terrett, filling in for Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. The CIA was created in 1947, just after the end of World War II, and this year marks its 70th anniversary. Over the decades, the CIA has been one of the world's most controversial organizations. From Cuba to Iran and across the globe, it's been linked to government overthrows and covert actions. In a moment, we'll talk with an international panel about the history of the CIA and its role in the world today. But we begin with a report from CGTN's John Gilmore.
With World War II barely over, the United States started to shape a new world order and unleashed the newly established Central Intelligence Agency. Italy, 1948. A CIA campaign during an Italian election helped prevent the Communist Party and a leftist coalition from taking power. Iran, 1953. Its democratically elected Prime Minister, Mohammad Mossadegh, was ousted in a CIA-directed coup. America favored the Shah, who ruled Iran for the next 26 years. Guatemala, 1954. Its elected president, Jacobo Arbenz, was overthrown in another CIA-orchestrated coup after his economic reforms threatened the US-controlled United Fruit Company. 3 decades of military rule and civil war, resulting in over 200,000 deaths, followed. Cuba from 1959. The U.S. tried several times to assassinate Cuba's revolutionary leader, Fidel Castro, and the CIA supported Cuban exiles in a failed invasion attempt at the Bay of Pigs in 1961. Republic of the Congo, 1961. Its first elected Prime Minister, Patrice Lumumba, was overthrown and assassinated just months after taking office. Plots to kill the African independence leader were linked to the CIA and Belgian government. The following year, according to a former agent, a CIA tip led to the arrest of South Africa's anti-apartheid leader, Nelson Mandela. He would serve 27 years in prison. Vietnam in the 1960s and 70s. The CIA was heavily involved in supporting a massive U.S. military intervention and war aimed at defeating communism that ultimately failed. Chile, 1973. The country's socialist president, Salvador Allende, was ousted in a U.S.-supported coup and replaced by General Augusto Pinochet. Central America in the 1980s. The CIA tried to undermine the leftist government of Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua. Meanwhile, the U.S. was propping up right-wing rulers in neighboring El Salvador and Guatemala. In more recent times, the Bush administration used CIA intelligence to justify the 2003 U.S. war in Iraq. That conflict has resulted in hundreds of thousands of deaths. Meanwhile, the CIA also launched a controversial drone war in the region aimed at potential terror threats. It has hit targets in Somalia, Yemen, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Hundreds have been killed, including civilians. John Gilmore, CGTN.